In July 1942, the dramatic fall of the legendary Soviet naval fortress of Sevastopol granted the Axis complete control of the Crimean Peninsula. Under the iron command of General Erich von Manstein, the victorious 11th Army stood poised at the easternmost tip of the peninsula, staring across the Kerch Strait. Having pulverized the concrete casemates of Sevastopol with super-heavy siege guns, Manstein's battle-hardened divisions were highly cohesive and ready for subsequent maneuvers. This geographical bottleneck represented a profound, unique opportunity for the German High Command to execute a rapid, decisive amphibious leap directly into the Caucasus. Rather than marching hundreds of miles back through the Crimean Neck, an amphibious jump would place an entire veteran army directly onto the vulnerable Soviet flank. Operation BlÄ~cher was designed to bridge this 4-mile gap, utilizing a specialized heterogeneous fleet of shallow draft transport vessels and landing craft. The backbone of this amphibious fleet was the Siebel Ferry, a highly stable catamaran capable of carrying heavy tanks while providing direct, devastating artillery support. German pioneers and naval engineers constructed temporary wooden embarkation piers, while training elite regiments in rapid embarkation and amphibious assault tactics. The operational plan was designed as a multi-wave coordinated assault, utilizing the Romanian Third Army Corps and the German 42nd Army Corps. The first wave, consisting of specialized assault engineers and elite mountain troops, would cross the strait under a massive cover barrage fired from Kerch cliffs. Simultaneously, the Luftwaffe's 8th Air Corps would execute concentrated precision dive-bombing attacks to systematically paralyze Soviet coastal communication lines. Once a secure beachhead was established, stable ferries would shuttle heavy tanks and ammunition trucks across, allowing the landing forces to drive deep into the Kuban. But the strategic execution of Case BlÄ was compromised by erratic decisions from Hitler, who became increasingly obsessed with the static northern front of Leningrad. In a highly controversial move, Hitler split the 11th Army, ordering the heavy siege artillery and several veteran divisions to be transported all the way north. Manstein and his staff were ordered north to take command of a planned offensive against Leningrad, which ultimately degenerated into static, bloody swamp struggles. This catastrophic division of forces left the drive into the Caucasus severely under strength, logistically strained, and highly vulnerable to Soviet counterstrokes. When a highly limited secondary version of the crossing was finally executed in September 1942, it lacked the motorized punch and air support of the original design. The primary logistical bottleneck that ultimately paralyzed Army Group A was the immense, unsustainable length of its supply lines, stretching over 1,200 miles. Forcing all ammunition, fuel, and replacement parts to be hauled by motorized truck columns over roadless steppes, the German logistical network collapsed under its own weight. A full-scale Operation BlÄ~cher would have resolved this paralysis by establishing a secure, high-capacity maritime supply route across the Black Sea and the Sea of Azov. Capturing the modern, deep-water ports of Novorossiysk and Tuapse would have permitted the Axis to utilize efficient merchant fleets while neutralizing the Soviet Black Sea Fleet. The 11th Army's advance along the coastal corridor would have unhinged the Soviet defensive system, preventing the formation of the legendary Blue Line defense. This maritime pipeline would have dramatically reduced the burden on the Wehrmacht's truck fleets, ensuring a reliable flow of fuel and fresh reinforcements to the front. By failing to execute this coordinated amphibious leap, the German High Command sealed the ultimate defeat of Case BlÄ, leaving the vital oil fields of Baku permanently out of reach.